Hi everyone, let's look at this task 1 bar chart. The bar chart below shows the sector contributions to India's gross domestic product from 1960 to 2000. And you can look at the chart, you can pause the video and you can look at the graph. It's an overtime essay as you can see. And this essay was written by Yahyobek. And now let's start checking. So the graph provides information about the contribution of three sectors: agriculture, industry, and services in India's gross domestic product. I think 2 India's gross domestic product would be much better. The contribution of three sectors to India's gross domestic product between these years, 1960 and 2000. Okay, overall, after saying overall, do not forget to use a comma here. It's clear that while contribution of service sector, I think no need this apostrophe. Services sector would be enough. And here you forgot the article. So, while the contribution of services sector increases significantly over the period, agriculture's share fell sharply, and the industrial sector experienced a moderate rise. And here, you should put a comma, you should use a comma, because after and you are using subject verb. In this situation, it would be better to use a comma here. Or it's clear that the contribution of service sector increases significantly. Is it correct? Service sector increases significantly, okay? Agriculture's share fell sharply. Fell sharply. Okay, and industrial sector experienced a moderate rise. Okay, that's good, but my recommendation is it would be better if you added GDP once in your overview. That would be much clearer. So now in 1960, agriculture, so no need to write it with a capital letter, agriculture. Agriculture had the highest contribution, accounting for approximately 63% of India's gross domestic product, and it ranked first. Again here, and it ranked first in these years. These years? Are you sure about that? So you are talking about only one period, which is in 1960. Its contribution was the highest. And by the way, I think this part is completely wrong, like after and. Look, what does it mean? It ranked first. It ranked first means actually the highest contribution. So here, agriculture had the highest contribution. You already mentioned that it had the highest contribution in 1960. But now it ranked first in this. Yeah, I think you wanted to say in this year instead of this year. And they do have the same meaning with the highest contribution. So you are mentioning the same piece of information twice, and that definitely decreases your cohesion score as well. But I hope you will correct your mistake and do not make this kind of mistakes. So is it 63 approximately? You said, yeah, it's about it's a little over 60. However, its share decreases sharply, reaching. So before reaching, you should use a comma here. Reaching about 15% by 2000. In contrast, the figure for services sector. Okay, reaching about 15. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, in contrast, the figure for services sector originally stood at approximately 17%, but there was the highest rise of around, I think saying there was the highest rise of would not be suitable here. So instead, you should say you should have said there was a significant rise of. This one would be much better and easy to understand. So there was a rise of around 48%. So what you mean here is 43 plus 17, because there was a significant rise of. So 48 plus 17 equals to 65, right? And by 2000, yes, you said. Okay, is it 65? Let's see. You said about, that's why around. Okay, that would probably be accepted, yeah. And comma, and it became leading sector. You forgot again the article. It became the leading sector, contributing about 63% to the country's GDP. You should pay attention to this part. Okay. You could simply say, you already said like 17%, a rise of 48% by 2000, and contributing about this part. This part is unnecessary, to be honest. No need to write it because you already mentioned the information. We mentioned this piece of information, and no need to write it. You could say it became this sector. It became the best sector, for example. It became the leading sector. That would be enough, and no need to write this part because you already mentioned it. Like a rise of means add 48 to 17. So the examiner can easily understand it, like contribution of industrial sector. So it should be again the contribution of. So you forgot it. And if you say the contribution of, you should write it. You should not write it with a capital letter, of course. You should not write it with a capital letter. Contribution. It would be. So of industrial sector was originally around 15%, after which, okay, pay attention to punctuation, after which it experienced a step-by-step rise to about 25% until 1980. Is it correct? From 15 step-by-step to about 25 until 1980 before stability. So 25, okay, before stability by the end of the time frame compared to the other two sectors. So I think instead of before stability, let's omit this one. Instead of stability, before remaining stable would be very natural. So if there is something natural, no need to use this one, like before stability. Before remaining stable by the end of the time frame would be perfect. And 154 words. Very good. So pay attention to your mistakes and do not repeat them. And my recommendation for your overview is omit these grammar mistakes. And I think it would be better if you split this sentence into two sentences. That would also be perfect. Yeah. Guess the score in the comments, guys. And thanks for watching. I want to say bye-bye.